John Kavakis here with another edition of My Take, and today we've got something that we've been waiting a long time to show you. It is Brooklyn's 1954 Packard Caribbean convertible. You know, in the early 50s, Packard was struggling. They were trying to re-emerge into the luxury car market, wanted to maintain their position, but they'd become a company that built high-quality cars. They were well-made. People knew the construction was great, but they had a stodgy and kind of an old-fashioned image back then. You know, in the early 50s, everything was new. Packard was kind of trailing behind. So in 1952, Hugh Ferry, the president of Packard Motors, introduced the Packard Pan American at the New York International Automobile Show. It was a two-seater show car made by Henny, custom bodybuilders out of Freeport, Illinois, and it was absolutely sensational, if not somewhat a little bit oddly proportioned. You can see some of the pictures we got here. They thought about producing that car, but it would have priced out to somewhere around $18,000 in 1952 dollars, which was just way too expensive. And so, but it did what it was supposed to do. It led to the production of the 1953 Packard Caribbean convertible. Now, that was a beautiful car, very clean lines, very European looking, but it was also expensive. However, not quite as expensive as a Pan American. The list price on the 53 Caribbean was $5,210. Now, bodies were modified by the Mitchell Bentley Company of Ionia, Michigan, and Packard only sold 750 cars, but the car did exactly what they hoped it would do. It gave Packard a halo car, something that was exotic, something that people aspired to. For 1954, the Packard had kind of new designs. You know, they cleaned it up a little bit. It had a 359 cubic inch straight 8 engine. The two-tone paint was available. The price tag in 54 was still high, $6,100. But by then, the Caribbean had become a suitable flagship for a luxury car company. So it did everything they were going to do. And so, you know, we've been waiting for Brooklyn's 1954 Packard Caribbean convertible for a long time. With all the moves and all the changes and everything, it got slowed down. But I got to tell you something. I believe it was worth the wait. Now, the car's going to come in two colors, Packard Ivory over Bikini Blue with a two-tone interior. And then there's a very limited production, very few number being made in all black with a two-tone buff and black interior. So you're going to want to get in on this early. So I've got one here. And, you know, if you're at the Chicago show, you were able to see the unveiling of this. It's one of the advantages of being at the in-person shows. But we're going to get it out of the box and take a look at it and let you take a close look at it as well. Okay, so once we got everything unpacked, it comes with a convertible top and with a convertible top boot. Now, this car is very close to the production model. The actual production model will have different wheels. They were having plating problems with the previous wheels. And by the time they sent this sample to me, they were still working on the paint mix for the convertible boot and for the convertible top. So the colors are going to soften a little bit. The other thing that Darren told me, Darren Mold, expert craftsman that's come up with this new casting, is that they're going to make some changes to the steering wheel. So this is pre-production, but it's very close to what we have. And as you can see, the car is absolutely stunning. The paint is beautiful. That two-tone interior, the dash, everything is just, I mean, it was well worth the wait. I'm going to just let you take a look at the car for a minute or two. Okay, so there it is. That's what we've been waiting. We have a list of waiting people who had placed orders previously. That we'll be in contact with those people. You're going to have to get in touch with Brooklyn right away. There's not a whole lot of these, so they made enough to satisfy their pre-orders that had to be canceled previously, and there might be a few extra. There'll probably be another production run, but this car is spectacular. It was worth the wait. Let me talk to you about Brooklyn for just a second. So, you know, I know for many years people called Brooklyn names like Charming, Blank Canvas, and that sort of thing. But, you know, starting with the new era, the new management, we've all seen the detail amp up on Brooklyn's. With the introduction of the NB Center models, we saw it go through the roof. Those models and the models that they have introduced since then, I believe they set a new standard for white metal models. These are some of the finest white metal models I've ever seen. Now, you know, there's another maker, Motor City, has been the standard for a long time. I would encourage you to set this model next to the Packard Caribbean from Motor City, which I believe is a little bit underscale. This one calipers out right, and you're going to find out that nobody has been able to match the detail and finish that Brooklyn has been giving us. You look at that Pontiac Torpedo that they came out with. One that might have gotten under your radar was Hobby DB Center's 1961 Pontiac Ventura. Jeff Lane's Second City Motors 1940 Zephyr in black, and the one in silver. These are some amazing cars, incredibly detailed, incredibly well finished, and maybe the best value. Now, we all know what happened with Motor City after their models began to age some. Prices started going through the roof. I expect the same thing to happen with Brooklyn. Limited production, very high quality, expert craftsmanship, maybe the best we've ever seen in white metals. You come and take a look at these in person and tell me if you agree. That's my take on Brooklyn's 1954 Packard Caribbean convertible. Thanks for tuning in. Do me a favor. If you like the video, give me a like down there in the bottom right-hand corner. Love to have you as a subscriber. We got a lot of videos coming up from the Chicago show, and I'm looking forward to sharing them with you. Thanks for tuning in.